Thanks for joining, guys. This is this is the 8th month of us running Applied AI Club. I see a lot of familiar faces uh, who have been attending almost every session. Just a bit of background about Applied AI Club and what we're going to do today, and then we'll get started. So Bala and I started doing this mainly to help each other out on how to learn about the different things in AI, how to get coded, etc. We started about a year back exactly. Soon, our friends started asking, can you help us out as well? And one thing led to the other, and more people started joining, and then we officially called it Affiliate Club in January. So what we do is we do a couple of things. We organize sessions every weekend. Most of it is free, with the objective of helping people to learn about different tools, different technologies out there. We also thought if there was a group or a larger community, it help people to get connected and learn from each other. We also have an active WhatsApp group where people ask a lot of questions, and if you want to be part of the WhatsApp group, please do visit our website appliedai.club, and you can register yourself there. We will get you added to the club. So what we're going to today is something interesting. So we started something called study groups. When you say study groups, you get reminded of what happened in college. That's exactly what we wanted it to sound like. It came with a lot of pressure, peer pressure, whatever you want to call it. So the idea really was, there were some things that you know I and Bala were like wanted to learn, but we always pushed it. Personally, for me, N8N was one such topic. Bala has different topics which we will have different study groups for. The idea is that can we get people who are interested to learn a specific topic come together, support each other, because all of us have this issues of getting started, teething issues, and if we are stuck, then we usually look for the internet. But can we just replicate the study group and where the study groups keep each other accountable? Uh, so while when we had a couple of meetings also every week where people catch up, there were some folks in the study groups who were super active, and I didn't start anything for the last 10 days until I saw oh, shit, people are actually doing a lot of things. It really put me pressure to do a bunch of things. So I must say, for me personally, at least, there was ground zero. Now probably there is a level one of N8N, but thanks for this particular group. So today I'm pretty sure Bala will agree to this. He's Bala, do you have anything to say, or you're still driving?
No, nothing else. Nothing else. We can start.
Super. So today, I think people have been building some people are in the process of in the middle of completing and working in 18 prototype. The idea is really to for people to showcase, what they have been doing, right, which stage are they in, what have they learned, what are the challenges, so that everybody else can figure out what is the best way to get started in 18. So with that, there are a bunch of folks who are going to present. I probably first want to call Rahul. Rahul is in a different time zone, but I would want Rahul to go first on this first demo day of N8N. I'm really looking forward to this, guys.
Hey, thank you, Praveen. Thanks, Bala, for this Applied AI Club. By the way, fun fact, I didn't know much about Gen AI and all these things until I started following this channel, and that's how I got to learn. So pretty much whatever I have built is an extension of whatever I have learned, and therefore extension of the learnings that has been shared here. Quick introduction about me. I'm Rahul. I worked at NVIDIA for 7 years. Then I moved to Australia back in 2023, and I'm currently working on a couple of ideas. So one of the problems that we faced was there were some marketing agencies that came to us, and they told that they are having trouble finding very niche Instagram profiles. So think of it this way: if you are looking for someone who is a fitness, let's say cooking blogger, specifically making dishes out of oat milk or something like that, it's a very, very, very niche topic, and that's why the present day keyword searching based things cannot really be helpful in that case. So let me share my screen. Let me start by, please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah,
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, lovely. So the first idea was that you know what? Let's start scraping profiles manually, and let's create let an AI a model decide analyze how and think about things like whether it's a human or a brand and what is the theme and so on and so forth. So the idea was, let me show you the idea was we'll first search for a particular thing. So for instance, I'll just search matcha places in Melbourne, and that will give me some reels. Then I will go over each of the reels. I will try to fetch what is the profile. I will also get some latest posts, latest captions of those posts, put them through a model, and really try to get some what is this profile talking about. Also, using the multimodal vision capabilities of Gemini, I also tried to get their profile picture. And usually, it's a very good indicator that if a profile picture has a human, then it's a human account. It's not a brand account. And usually, the marketing agencies are really looking towards human accounts, not brand accounts. So something of this sort, and then you can put everything together. Finally, let another AI model, another AI agent to decide whether what you're looking for is actually matching the profile that has been showed. If yes, then yes, go ahead and please store. There were certain limitations with this. Of course, the big strength is, it is a very, very easy idea to test. And but the weakness is this is still being a lot of keyword-driven idea. So that was a big problem, because if the caption doesn't capture the true essence of what is being displayed in the photo or in the reel in the video, then there is no point of going through all this pain. So that's why essentially this is what I did. So this is the representation of what I just showed you. But then the next idea was, okay, how do we store this into a vector and then use vector querying to get sort of more information about what the profile is really talking about. Unfortunately, for the second version, the N8N was really helpful in collecting data. So collecting data as in, going through profiles, helping me collect 12 recent posts, their captions, the profile picture, bio, all those things. But I wanted to use a very specific model, the Gina embedding V2 model. But that was not available in N8N, and that's why I had to step away from N8N. Nonetheless, this is what I did a lot. I got a list of 3,000 profiles. It was a random sample of 3,000 Australian profiles, and through those 3,000 profiles, I wanted recent posts, bios, and all those things. So that can be easily fetched through APIs. For this particular context, I used an API from there's a website called Rapid AI. Over there is an API provided by Instagram Social API, and they do have a bunch of API endpoints that you can use and get relevant information. So this is what I used, and essentially this is what I'm trying to build. That you have a lot of Instagram profiles. You take their texts, things like bio, caption, images, profile picture, that will create multiple embeddings. One will be textual embedding, image embedding, sort of give some weightage to it, create a common one embedding per profile, store that in quadrant, get the query, again use the same embedding model to convert that query into vector, do a cosine search, and return and re-rank. That is the essential idea behind what I have right now. As far as tools are concerned, use Rapid API for gathering profiles and Gemini for gathering profile metadata. Profile metadata such as, it's really tough to understand whether a profile's location is in Sydney, in Melbourne, in Perth. So going through a couple of posts and really trying to figure out, it's essentially just giving that data to LLM and prompting that, you are an expert in finding location. So, and it works really well. So that's how I was able to get things like location, whether it's a human profile, brand profile, what is the rough age of this influencer, etc., so on and so forth. So my key learnings were, think of capabilities that LLMs can offer and how it can automate tasks. In this case, the marketing agency folks told us that a lot of task is still being manually done. So even after getting, using existing discovery tools, even if they are getting a list of 100 influencers, they still have to go to each profile manually to really look and get the feel of that profile, which is something that, in fact, vector-based searching can do really, really well. So imagine if in the future, if we are able to build something like a chat GPT, but for just querying Instagram profiles and discovery platform. The other learning was, using N8N was pretty easy. You can easily get a structure. You can also play around with it. I found it a lot easier to first create a proof of concept on N8N and then move to Cursor or some other tool to really solidify it. The challenge that I still face is it's an open question to the audience as well, and I don't know. So how do I scrape relevant Instagram profiles of the how do I create my data pool? There are million influencers in Australia who are having less than 100K followers, and I'm interested in storing only those profiles. So yeah, that's all from my side.
This is pretty cool. So the problem statement is basically how do I get the Instagram profile links so that hopefully it meets certain conditions of the marketing team and the brand. That's what the problem.
Exactly. I mean, if I'm able, how do I get those list of usernames at the first place itself who are based in Australia, and then later on I can do all the filtering. But how do I get those entire list of users? That is something that I don't know, because even right now, when I was looking for profiles, I was doing searches like influencers in Melbourne, influencers in Sydney, lifestyle bloggers in Sydney, etc., so on and so forth.
I see. Okay, got it. But this is pretty interesting. Okay, nice. Was Rapid API the only platform that you used to get the details about Instagram stuff? Did you explore
Actually,
anything?
I experimented a bit. There is Rapid
Okay.
API. There was one more that I'm not able to recall at the top of the mind. But essentially, for free purposes, this was giving me the maximum number of requests. So this one had something like 500 requests per for the free tier. That sort of helped me for my case.
Got it. Great, cool. This looks interesting. Hopefully, in the next demo day, we'll see the full working prototype.
That would be awesome.
Products. Yeah, great, super. Thanks, Rahul, for presenting. Yeah, Surendra, you got a question. You got raised your hand. You can just unmute and ask.
Yeah. Hey, Praveen. Not a question. I just thought what Rahul was asking. I was thinking out loud if you find one influencer and that influencer follows other accounts and they would only follow other influencers, right? So people who are famous follow very few accounts and they have many followers. So if you just try scraping through that loop, which is find an influencer, find people who follow and then build off that.
That's a very interesting suggestion. Yeah, thank you so much.
Super, great. Thanks, Rahul. Thanks, Surendra. Bala, would you want to go next?
Sure, awesome. Yeah, Rahul, good stuff. It's a tough act to follow that. What he has done. So, folks, I'm traveling right now, so I won't be able to share my video. I'll share my screen and walk you through the problem statement. All right, so my screen should be visible. Okay, so context is that so one of the experiments I'm trying to do is I'm trying to structure my personal life or the way I do my work, just like how would you actually run a company, right? So that's an experiment that I've been running. And one of the things that I want to do is basically a weekly review, right? So just like how you have periodic reviews for, if there's particular pods in the business or a product team or anything like that. So I'm trying to conduct a weekly review. So for that, what I wanted is I want to take all the work tools that I actually use. And I have certain objectives on, I have my OKRs and like other things that I have objectives which I need to achieve on a weekly basis. I'm trying to automate that part using N8N. So that's a problem statement, right? So I use Linear for my personal project management. I use obviously Google Calendars. I have about like 4 Google Calendars I actively use, and obviously I use Gmail. I also like post on LinkedIn, so we have an internal Slack channel. So a bunch of these things actually happen. I wanted to take the inputs of all of this, compare that with the objectives that I actually have, and use an LLM to to get an analysis that I can get on a weekly basis. So that's the objective, right? Now let me open this. So this is basically the so this is basically the workflow. So nothing fancy, very straightforward. So basically what happens is I have a webhook. So this actually gets triggered on an ad hoc basis. I plan to use a scheduler so that it can run like every week automatically. And what I do is, this is Linear's API. So I fetch the last week's Linear stuff. Let me try and execute this. Oh, sorry, forgot to save this. All right, so essentially what happens is, first it fetches my Linear details. Then I have like about 4 different accounts for calendar. So I fetch all the meetings that I've had in the last 1 week from the current time is actually running, right? And I also, so most of my emails currently go to appliedai, so I'm only using that, but I plan to expand this to other email accounts also. And finally, I get to an agent. So the agent has a prompt which has the objective of what I'm trying to do with respect to the weekly KRAs and KPIs, etc. And also it gets inputs of all of this particular data. And finally, it uses my email to send a mail to my personal account for a review basis. So it looks like, it looks like this. So how your week actually went. So I get a full transcript of, I'm not going to show that because it has a lot of personal information, but it has a full transcript of what the LM actually thinks how my week actually went. And most important aspect I track against is how many of my activities go towards my primary goals or secondary goals, and how many of what amount of time I actually spent on not relevant things. So that's the whole workflow. I also, so coming to some of the things that I wanted to add, like for example, I wanted to fetch my LinkedIn post and do things. Unfortunately, your N8N doesn't help you scrape LinkedIn posts. It only helps you post LinkedIn posts. But Relay app does. But I was trying to push the data from Relay app to N8N through an API, but Relay is creating that JSON object in Relay. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. I spent a lot of time over there. I couldn't figure that out. That is one problem. And again, similarly for Twitter, so scraping wasn't that straightforward. So that's something that I have to figure out. And the third is, the AI agent has a little bit of hallucination, so where it arbitrarily changes the value or association of each calendar item to my primary objective. So it kind of hallucinates. That's a little weak right now. So that's something that I need to improve. And yeah, so mostly that's it.
Nice. One question on this AI agent. So when I was trying to do this, there were different types of AI agents, right? For this, what was the type of AI agent you use? There's something called conversation react or whatever, right? And then no AI agent node.
Let me open. So what do you mean conversation? This is what I've actually seen.
This is the AI agent node in N8N, correct?
Yeah, this is the AI agent node. Yeah.
Oh.
Not the LLM chains or anything. So I directly use this AI agent, which is a simple, you connect a model to a memory to multiple tools. So very, very simple, straightforward. You give a system prompt and you give the normal user message and it just works.
Oh, this looks different. I need to go back and check. Okay, super.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And because all of this context is very large, I use Gemini because it has like the largest context window right now. But we can also optimize it a little bit more.
Super. Looks interesting.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, Bala. Any questions, guys? If not, then we can move to the next person.
Yeah, Praveen, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, Bala, you said you are pulling the data in terms of how the week went, and then you said you are comparing it with which how much time we spend on priority item. How did you compare that? Like
Yeah.
how?
So basically, what I have is I have a separate OKR kind of a structure. So it's a simple JSON structure that I have, which has what are the three, like for example, financial or personal or mental or physical, etc. So I have these set of goals, and I create a tag against each of the events, saying whether it is what is this event regarding. So I make it a point to put description in every one of my calendar events. So exactly I know what is that event regarding. So it takes like the periodic stand-ups and other things. I feel like, like you're just doing basic stuff is probably like indirectly related to your primary goal. If I'm doing some consultancy activity, then it is probably directly related to my financial goals. If I've done like workout, then it gets related to my physical goals, etc. It creates an association. Then I have like numerical outputs for each of these. My prompt actually has settings on like what is the range, how do you put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it creates a score at the end of it. So that's how I've structured this.
Nice. So Bala, like skipping your personal information, is there any way you can create a sample and share with the group? This is like a great, I think internal tool
Yeah,
somebody can leverage. Like would be a
I'm
great
happy
help.
to. So yeah, N8N gives you the JSON. You just need to connect your inboxes.
Okay.
I'm happy to share that. Yeah.
Yeah, just a one pager talk in terms of how did you create the workflow so that if somebody has to go, they can do.
Sure. I
Yeah,
will do that.
thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks, Bala. Pratibha, where do you want to go next? Pratibha, we are not able to hear you. Just give. Yeah, Dharaj, you had raised your hand.
I'm saying if no one is available, I can go next.
Yeah, just give me maybe 30 seconds. Sure. We'll wait for Pratibha to come back. Dharaj, you can go ahead next. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Can I start?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Darhas. I heard a lot about N8N, but I started using it like a week ago. The study group was for 2 weeks, but the first 5, 6 days, I haven't done anything. I thought I'll drop out of it and join the next one, but somehow I somehow figured out a use case and I thought this is good to build. So a little intro about me. For the last 7, 8 years, I've been working at multiple startups. In the last 3 years, I was working on my own startup. It's called Call Insights AI, which got recently acquired, hired, and it's running under the name Insigent Research at the moment. So I am currently holidaying. I came back to my hometown. It's been like good 3, 4 years. I spent some time back in my hometown. So I came back to my hometown. I'm currently holidaying, and I'm doing small things that just funds up my passion. And there is a IT service company that I'm currently providing my consultation service for, setting up an AI team for them and working and helping them in pushing their products to market. Uh, so while I was providing consultation to them, that is when I figured out a use case which they are struggling out with. So I've built, yeah. So I've built a N8N flow on top of it. I was actually working on two different ideas. One of them is not finished. Let me just show that to you first quickly. So this is a HR screening agent where for a particular job description, we get 400, 500 resumes on LinkedIn or any other job portals, or if you post a job on your ATS, it gets posted on different job portals. But towards the end of the day, recruiters ends up getting 400 to 500 resumes for a particular job description. So I've built this workflow. It's not finished yet, but I built this workflow to do initial set of calls and do initial set of calls and do the first level of screening so that the recruiters need not go to all 400, 500 resumes, but only pick up those particular 40, 50 focused set of resumes and start their process from there. But unfortunately, this is not yet finished. But one thing that I'm working on with is this. So this company that I'm currently providing a simple, straightforward approach. The company that I'm currently providing the consultation service, they've recently launched one of their one of their products into the market. They're running it for free at the moment. So what does it do is, okay, leaving what that product does, the major problem that they are facing is, being an IT service company, they are very stringent on the way they share their data with the existing employees or the stakeholders or anyone within the team. So they are not okay to share the database access to the team, to everyone in the team. So what they are doing is they figured out a couple of tools which can interact with their database and pull out data, and they are paying $60, $70, or $50 to $70 per month for it. So I created a straightforward N8N approach which can interact with their database and pull out information from it. So how it works is a simple chart. So I'm just showing the N8N skeleton, not the ideal production application that we have built, but I'm just showing the N8N skeleton. So once you get in a chart message, AI agent understands that and that passes through the model. And I've also included a memory just for this particular chart history, just for that one particular session. And that particular natural language query will be executed into an SQL query, and it pulls down DB schema and the tables list, and then it returns all the tables list with its schema name, and then it also gets a table definition and pushes out the data that you asked for. For example, let's say if I asked how many users are present in total, just runs across everything, and it just gives me data like 27 users. Similarly, I can ask a couple more questions. So what is happening? So how is it helping the team currently? Is they need not go back and spend that $50, $60 on it, by $50 on an external platform, but this is a custom build for them. And alongside that, there's a custom build for them. And alongside that, the DevOps team that they have, they figured out that this team only gets this much amount of access. For example, there is sensitive information that is present in the database. Now, not all the teams need that particular sensitive information. So need all that sensitive information. So the generic information can be given to the product team, or if there is an analytics team, they only get this sort of number. So that current chunking is something that we are doing at the moment. And alongside that, I haven't implemented guardrails or anything at the moment. So if I ask the agent a question, how much is 2 plus 2, it still answers that it is 4. Ideally, it shouldn't answer any of these questions. It should answer only the questions that are related to that particular database. Stopping the agent to take these kind of questions, adding a couple of guardrails, is something that I'm currently still working on. But what I did towards the end is added this under an authentication layer, which can be in that particular domain can only be used through their office Wi-Fi, so that the in-house team can use that particular platform and it's not exposed to anyone. Out. Yeah, there's a straight up workflow that I worked on. Extending to this, they have multiple databases. So I'm planning to add all those databases to a single agent and give them a single endpoint where from the dropdown they can just select which database to interact with on their platform, which database to interact with, and they can ask questions, and the agent retrieves answers and data only from that particular database. So they need not spend another $50 or $60 per month on different platforms to interact with the database. Yeah, so this is what I was able to build in the last 1 week.
Nice. So it works with just this AI agent node and all the tools that you have described?
Sorry?
It works perfectly in terms of, because I see there are a couple of tools and access to the memory.
Yeah.
So it works as a prototype, is it?
It works as a prototype. We have shipped it to production, and it runs under their company URL. I mean, added an authentication layer on top of it and gave it to this particular company, so their employees can log in and interact with this agent.
I see. Is that authentication layer sitting outside of N8N or
sitting out? Yeah, it's sitting outside of N8N.
Understood. Got it. Okay. Super. Looks interesting. Super. Thanks, Dargus. Anybody else have any questions? Otherwise, we'll move on. I think Pratibha is ready next. Vishwadeep,
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daras. It's quite detailed. I wanted to know, how does schema discovery happen, and is it dynamic in nature? Let's say that database adds dynamically in the system. Will it be able to identify and answer based on those new databases and new columns, let's say?
Right. So I tested it out with Supabase first because it was. I tested out with Supabase with another database which I for a prototype that I've created on Lovable. For this particular use case, the Supabase is working amazingly fine. But for the current production application that I have, what I did is the company data, the actual database has a lot of information, and I didn't give access to N8N to this particular database, but rather created a mirror database and only selected few tables. So whatever tables are present in the original database, let's say there are 12, I'm only picking up 6 to 7 tables, and I'm sending those tables to the mirror database. And this update happens once in every 4 hours. So once this mirror database is updated, once this mirror database is updated, the agent here pulls data from it on every single run.
Sure. Thanks.
Super. Thanks, Rahul. Once you got everything working, would love to see the demo. The next step, next appropriate thing. Super. Great. Thanks. Pratibha, you want to go next? Yes.
Yeah, Praveen, can you hear me?
Yep, we're good. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so let me, sorry, my internet is unstable, so I'll just not open the video, but I'll share my screen quickly. Just give me a minute. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, my use case was mostly regarding customer service. So I wanted to create a quality agent, AI agent, which helps me quickly filter through all the tickets which are agents response, and then it does a proper quality to it, and then accordingly update Excel sheet. Okay, so if I just quickly go through this flow, I'll just take you through this one way. So one is schedule trigger. This is basically what means is that at certain time you can schedule this trigger from your whatever tool you're using for your customer support queries. It's basically simple that you just mention based on this format, you can mention what time you want to run this trigger in this system. Then there is something called get many tickets. This is basically Freshdesk tool which we usually use for customer service ticket. It's basically here I have just integrated the API of Freshdesk. I have mentioned tickets it has to pull out, and currently I have kept it as limit 10, but it is something you can keep changing as well. And this is basically means that in last 24 hours, whatever any tickets which has been closed, those numbers I want to see it here. This is very simple. I asked ChatGPT and it helped me with the coding things because I have no knowledge about how you can write these things. Okay, so moving on, this if condition is basically I didn't want it to filter all the tickets, but only tickets which are closed. So this 4 number is basically the number Freshdesk give to close status, which is something is mentioned here. Then this is something called HTTP request. What this does is, the problem is in this flow, get many tickets, we have already integrated API, but it was not pulling the entire conversation of the ticket. So that's the reason why I had to add this, and this API I had to link. This API I basically found from the Freshdesk developer tool access, where it basically says that it will take all the conversations and then start evaluating it. And this is here I have just mentioned how many tickets it should actually take it as a batch, right? So it is pulling out 5 tickets in every minute so that it doesn't impact the Freshdesk API, because there was one challenge which I was facing is that whenever I was triggering this, it was hitting the Freshdesk API and it was not going through. So just to ensure that it doesn't hit the API, we wanted to keep it batch wise. And then this is basically AI agent. Here the prompt is very simple. One prompt is basically what all information you need to check, and this is the second prompt where we have mentioned that you are a quality assurance evaluator for CS, and what all things you need to check, like communication policy, helpfulness, resolution, blah blah blah. And then how do you have to score it, like for example out of these things you have to score it between 0 to 5, etc. This is basically simple, like what GPT model you're using. ChatGPT told me this works better, so I used it. I have to still explore whether something else is much better than this. So yeah. And this is structured output parser, is basically where it is going to, if you see on the left hand side, it is very text format, not very clear. So basically it will just have a clear format here, which shows that how it should come across. And finally, I just wanted to update it in our sheet. And when you click on it, you will see all the, I have given the Google Sheet credential here, and then I have updated all the document name, sheet, etc., and how it should update in our sheet. Now, let me quickly trigger it. I mean, I have not used it this now because I have to give the timings, but just to have a quick access, I will just click here. This is basically like you execute when it is working. Hopefully it works. I have tried it many times. Okay, so it shows that it is executed successfully. Now you can go to the sheet which we had linked, where you will see this information. So see, this one came just now. So here, if you see, it will say ticket ID, agent name, what counts it has given, and scoring. And these are basically, I have added it in Excel sheet. What I will usually do is that I'll just drag it out and just see the score. And the idea is not that it will do the entire quality for now, because it's quite basic and we have not added anything like knowledge base or any information from our company system to check all this information, and those things right now is not there. The idea is that at least you can filter it out, most of the tickets in the, or all the tickets in the fresh desk, and quality agent can pick those tickets and do a thorough quality on those things. This is something which we had created this way. Yeah. Any questions on this?
It's pretty cool. Are you using this in production already, or?
Yes, I have tested it. The only concern is the quality prompt is something which we have to keep changing, because it either become too strict, or either it is not actually gauging what customers are saying, because a lot of times customers write, they don't write clearly, right? So it is becoming little challenge, but most of the tickets are doing well. It's just that we have to keep working on our prompts. And second problem is the API hit thing. Though I have tested it out 3 times, like every night we get less tickets. So I had kept this trigger for 4 o'clock in the morning. But whenever I come the next day, I see the API limit hit. So I'm still trying to figure out whether it will work or not. But yeah, overall it is working fine, other than these 2 things.
Okay, got it. Cool, cool. Thanks, Pratibha. Anybody have any questions to Pratibha? Otherwise, we can move to the next person. Cool. Suraj, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a sec. Let me share my screen. Okay. Yep, you should have it now. So here, a brief introduction about myself. So my name is Suraj. In my regular day job, I work at Goldman Sachs. I work in quantitative finance, developing financial models. But what we're talking about today is nothing related to finance or math or data or any of the usual stuff that we work with. This is actually inspired from a problem statement my wife has been facing a lot recently. She's a founder in a startup that's building a D2C brand for healthy foods for kids. And one of the frequent problem statements that she faces is that when she has an idea for content and she has to get in touch with a marketing agency to actually take that content, do the research, and then convert it into a post and iteration cycle. That cycle of going from idea to post or branded content is very long. It can take days, if not weeks, to actually get there. And this is where I was inspired for this POC using N8N, which is, can we try and make this process a lot faster while still keeping some hold on the user feedback. Now, let me show you a quick demo first of what the idea is. So the overall workflow is split into 4 stages. The first thing you do is just, sorry about that, you start somewhere like here and you just come up with a user query, which is, let's say what we're exploring is why is ragi hot chocolate better than hot chocolate, right? And once you hit submit, what it'll do is it'll go through a couple of stages. I've orchestrated this as a series of agents. One is a research agent that actually goes and does deep research on fact-driven website like FASI, what government of India releases, etc. that actually produces a research report. And then there's a copywriting agent that takes this deep research and converts it into something that a brand can understand. There's a designer agent that takes this and also adds in brand guidelines, like what colors, what fonts, what type of messaging, who the target segment is, etc. And finally, use the OpenAI DALI APIs to actually generate images. So as you can see, the final outcome will be something like this. You will get a series of draft posts that you can actually post anywhere on Instagram or something else. Now, the idea also is that we to include a feedback loop step, and that's the part that I haven't got to yet because this is still like super POC stage, where there's in this Google Drive folder, it also includes a lot of the deep research it's done, and then brand guidelines and everything. And the idea is once some of these images are generated, it will be able to also go back, let's say on WhatsApp or on Gmail, share these with the user, and then say, hey, what do you want to change? And then the user can say, hey, this fact doesn't look right, or change this color, and it'll go back, fine tune, and make it all ready for production.
So what are the different stages of the agents? What do they do? One, I can see research. If you can quickly summarize what each.
So one is a research agent. This actually, given the user prompt, it goes and finds out high quality sources of information and dumps it in a big something like a big Word document. There is a copywriter agent that takes this and makes it more marketer friendly in some sense.
Okay.
Where what is the top 1 or 2 or 3 punchlines, split it into 7 slides. Considering this is an Instagram post, let's say you want 6 pictures, so it will split overall content into 6 pictures.
Okay.
There is the stage I have here called brand guidelines, where there's a Word document which just has a dump of colors, fonts, brand guidelines. And there is this designer spec agent where it takes the same copywriting and the brand guidelines and then just gives a very detailed description of make this, use a picture of a kid, use these colors, use these fonts. It creates a very detailed specification per slide. And lastly, there is a small stage where it takes this brand designer prompt and then makes it more DALI optimized for DALI or whatever the image generation agents are, because those follow a different format.
Nice. I see you using a lot of Grok chat. I mean, is it
when I spoke to Bala, he was like, if you're testing something for the first time, best thing is to try Grok extensively. Under the hood, there are a lot of different models. Some are Llama, some are Quen, all of those. And I used things like Perplexity and ChatGPT extensively to help me fine tune the prompts and the system, both the system prompt and the user prompt that went into this. Finally, as you can see, a lot of the mess for me doesn't come from the prompts, but actually doing data formatting and data processing. So that's probably where maybe N8N caps out, and probably it's better to go to things like LangChain or other agents.
Correct. This looks crazy.
Yeah, I can share this with anyone who's interested. One other thing maybe that I will ask to the group, as I'm curious if any of you have actually built, the last part of this that I wanted to try building out later is something like connectivity to WhatsApp, where you can have a back and forth engagement, where you share this document, you share the image, and then you get feedback on something like WhatsApp, and then that goes back into the agent. Have any of you POC'd that successfully?
Hey, Praveen and I did this on WhatsApp sometime back. We can help out. It's been some time, but yeah, we did this actually. Connecting WhatsApp as a front end to a chatbot and back and forth.
Yes. Yeah. Cool. Sounds good.
Cool. This is interesting, Suraj. Hopefully, the next time you can show full thing on how it works once I've completed it. I would be willing to buy. There is already a buyer for your agent already.
You should put a LinkedIn post and like ask people to pay for it. I'm sure people pay for it. Especially
this LinkedIn post, I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely. Great.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Suraj. Who would like to go next? Vijay, Gopal, any of you?
Yeah, I think Gopal had this thing hot stop. So
sure. Yeah, please. Yeah, Gopal, go forward.
Hi everyone, while I share my screen, I'm just going to give you a bit of a background. I'm trying to build a customer support agent for an automobile kind of thing. So can you guys see my desktop? Right. I'm assuming my desktop is visible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to build a customer support with any trigger, right? Right now I'm using a Gmail trigger. This can be replaced with anything. And then this goes through a text classifier to figure out, is it a support ticket or something else? If the email is something else, it'll just say false. And then, it'll send back something saying this is not a support request. And, if it's true, it'll go to the AI agent. And what I've done is, sorry, just one more quick thing. So basically, I've taken a Tesla Model 3 owner's manual, right? This is a 300-page odd manual, and I've tried to create a vector store out of it. So basically, I've put that into a Google Drive. Whenever there's a file into that folder, it will download that file. It will go to Pinecone Vector Store, and it will create a vector database, right? So it created something like this. So basically, if you see some of the keywords, say exterior, overview, dashboard, interior, touchscreen, of that entire thing. So the idea is to reduce the context window and not pass that PDF file every time into a agent, right? So basically, it will connect to that Pinecone vector store, query what the support item is, and then it will parse it out and then send an email back, right? Like for example, right now what I've done is I've just sent an email and I've pinned the output for the testing purposes. So basically, I said something like, my Tesla Viper is not working automatically. So I'm just going to try and execute the workflow. So one of the challenge I have is right now, my prompt maybe 50% of the time it actually goes to the vector store, and sometimes it decides it knows the answer automatically. It doesn't go to the vector store and query the manual. It just sends the message automatically, right? So I probably should have got an email saying that, yeah. So I understand that the automatic wiper function on Tesla is not working. To help resolve this, ensure the following steps, something like that. So that's the formatting part. That's what I've done so far. What I was trying to do is try to build some memory into it to say that if I send a follow-up email to the same thing asking further questions, to refer back to that context and give the answer. But that was failing a little bit. And then I was trying to figure out if I can try to use a ticketing system to say, okay, is this the ticket number? Gopal has already sent me this, and he seems to be struggling with all kinds of automatic buttons or any kind of functions like that. So I was struggling with that. So I just removed it from the work for now. So this is what I've done so far. But like I said, these triggers can be anything. It could be a WhatsApp message. It could be an email. It could be anything like that. So that's my simple demo.
Okay, how is the, I mean, I understand you said that the PDF was about 300 pages, right? Is it able to pick the right information related to the questions? Or supposed to test it more extensively?
Yeah. So basically, it is able to, it has created a vector database out of this entire PDF, right? So in Pinecone, and I used an embedding model for that, the OpenAI embedding model for that. It is able to create all the keywords, but the challenge I have is in my AI agent prompt right now. I need to fine tune it a little bit more to go to that vector store every time and query that and get the output back. But sometimes what it's doing is it's deciding that OpenAI automatically knows the answer. And right now, for example, for that Viper thing, when I tested it like 10 times, I see that 5 times it goes to the vector store. Sometimes it just comes back to that OpenAI and says, I can answer this without the vector store or the referring the manual. So that's the challenge. So the other thing I'm trying to figure out, and maybe Bala or Praveen, this, right? The evaluations function of this N8N. So basically, I could probably use a model to create like 100 sample queries and test this out and see if this is working well or not. That's the next thing that I'm trying to figure out, how to use the eval section of N8N.
Got it. So the trigger was, this is to help customers get the answers for what they want, is it? Or is it for the customer support agents?
Yeah, my friend runs a Kia dealership, right? So I'm trying to help him out with that. So I'll just use this as a Tesla thing right now, but then later on I'll change this all to all the Kia models and probably change this to WhatsApp so that he can have a WhatsApp chatbot for all his Kia customers.
Got it, understood. Okay, interesting. I have one personal question, but this, I mean, is it hosted locally or on the cloud?
Yeah, that's the other thing that I wanted to. That's the other thing. You know, I spent a lot of time. I asked Bala for this, and some folks shared some links on how to host this on GCP, right? So I have my own domain, showkuza.com. So I just created that, and then it's all hosted on GCP by myself. Right now, GCP has some limitations, right? So it has only 1 GB memory. My day job, I work for Oracle. I head the energy practice for Oracle in JPAC. So Oracle has very generous free tier, right? If you look at OCI, we have 24 GB memory, RAM, I'm saying, and 200 GB of storage that Oracle offers. So I'm trying to just next move this to Oracle and see. But right now, to follow the guide, I had to just follow what was given and host this myself.
Got it. So cool. I mean, I will ping you separately because I'm not seeing these evaluations under my requirements. I'll ping you separately. Yeah.
You're not seeing this part of it?
No, I'm not seeing it.
In a self-hosted version?
No, I have also hosted on the cloud, but it's not showing up that way. I'll ping you separately in interest of time.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Super. Any questions, guys? Thank you, Gopal. This is really cool. First application where we're using external docs to kind of answer, at least on N8N.
Thanks.
Super. Vijay, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Hey folks, so I'll just quickly introduce myself. So I'm Vijay. I have around 12 years of experience. I previously worked at Amazon in the last mile product space, but right now I'm on a break. But so like I'm kind of standing on the shoulders of giants, so I should say, trying to learn about all these different AI tools. And so I have created something which is very simple, which will help me plan day-to-day house, like home-related planning. So basically, it's a grocery planner. Let me just share my screen. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, Vijay, we can see it.
Yeah, you're able to see the screen? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So overall, the objective is that I want to reduce the time I spend on like buying, purchasing groceries, like reduce the like stockouts that I have. Usually my maid only reminds me of whenever there is a stockout happening, or and of course also track my spends as well on the different purchases that I've made. So this is like a phase 1 of the workflow that I have brought in. Like, so the initial phase that I'm having is that, hey, can I, if I have my past like invoices that I have purchased of groceries, can I then like pass through that and store that in, let's say, a Google Sheet or maybe a database from which I can, let's say, later on even understand like how much I'm spending or what are my key like inventories as well. So that's the overall thought process that I'm having. Currently I have set up the first phase where I look at the invoices, I process them using an OCR, and then after that I'm able to add that add the list of whatever I have bought into a Google Sheet. So I'll just explain this workflow, what I have prepared. So I start off like either this could be like I can click it, or it could be a scheduled trigger as well, which I can do, let's say, from a particular folder on Google Drive. It will basically filter all the PDF files or image files. Usually you can take a picture of the bill and put it in your Google Drive, or you can also take like upload the PDF itself. It will look at all the bills that are there in the folder, download them, extract
the content, like what were the products that we have bought, what was the invoice amount, how much did you spend, what was the quantity, and so on. And then after that, once it has like extracted this image, there's the first a layer of parser, which basically puts it under the fields that I wanted to put in. There is some amount of pre-cleaning that is required because the like OCR output is not very like good for parsing, and so that's why I just added a cleaning layer. Once this parsing has happened, and then after that, like there are two parts. One is that I put a summary of what were the spends per invoice in a different sheet, and the other one is at a line item level, where I basically look at add some more enrichments to the items that I've bought, basically categorization of those items, and then after that looking at the different brands that I am buying and so on, and also so that will help me build an analytical engine later on this, on top of this. So that's the overall flow. I'll just currently I will just execute this flow. So it already currently, if you see, this is the drive where I've already uploaded these bills, right? So it first checks whether I have already processed this, and if not, then it will take the latest one. So this will not be required once I have the automatic trigger. I'm doing this manually, that's why it's just first checking. And then this will be the this is the Google Sheet which I have now built. So it's now getting updated if you see. So there is one invoice summary at overall level, which helps me understand how much I've spent. Then there is at a line item level saying what were the categories, what are the subcategories. These and all came from the enriched data. Then after that, it also tells me about what brands I buy, how much do I usually buy on a certain basis, and based on the invoice dates, I can understand when I have bought and how much I'm spending per month and so on. So and it this is the overall data that I'm capturing right now, over which I am thinking of building some kind of area where I can chat through this as well. So that would be the next area, and then also look at, let's say, if I'm able to with this, I already have the shopping list for, let's say, a month, right? I can already always create that. So with this, I'm thinking of how can I automate this. So happy to hear about how, if you have any thoughts on how we can automate the at least till the checkout process. If I'm having this list, I know that Swiggy already has that option, Instamart, where you can actually upload this the product list and it will automatically purchase. But then I want to look at multiple options so that I can also reduce my cost as well, not necessarily dependent on a one particular website. Just wanted to check if you have any questions.
Yeah, there are a couple of questions. Are you able to predict when the grocery gets over? Rajesh is asking. I was also asking the same question.
Yeah. So I have this is what I want to build. As of now, what I want to build is what would be the minimal quantity, let's say at least 1/3. So I have been able to for staples and all, I have been able to find. I just it's like a simple regression only, and I'm able to find out how much when it is about to stock out. The expectation is that I will be able to connect this to some kind of a WhatsApp chat, which will at least remind me or ask me to check if this if what is the current limit, whether it is you might be running out and so on, some kind of a warning trigger. So that's my thought process.
Correct. But did you figure out, I mean, did you understand a bunch of things that you otherwise would have missed earlier because of what you've implemented? Did you, wow, am I doing all these types?
Sorry?
I mean, did you figure out anything different by doing this? In the sense that, when you upload this, okay, I didn't know, there were a lot of these items where you're actually spending.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. So this is where the problem is that I am spending a lot on when I have this problem of stockouts, right? So I end up buying more on Blinkit and so on, and effectively those are much expensive. So there are much more options where I can where I found that I could have rather like purchased it if I had known earlier, right? So this is where like I feel that that will be a cost saving opportunity for me.
Maybe that's the next stage, and you want to look at all the websites and see where you want to place so that you can save money.
Yes, exactly. Because time is not a problem for me, right? Like
Right.
if I'm like the shopping list is ahead with me, already with me, and if I know what will be the best place, then I can preemptively like place the order. So I'll be able to save money there. Yeah.
Cool. Very nice. Any questions for Vijay from the community? Yeah, Vishwadip, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Vijay, super helpful. I just wanted to know what tool did you use for passing the PDF files to Google Sheets because it can have applications across sectors.
Yeah. So right now I am using ChatGPT only, the OpenAI model only. So Mistral is doing a good job. From there, I am able to like extract that data.
Okay, and have you measured the evals also? Like what is the accuracy of PDF to Google Sheets?
Yeah, so I've not like objectively measured as such, but yeah, initially there were if you see, I had split the workflow right into one is as a parser and the other one is an enricher. So initially when I had this together, I was having a lot of like errors, like that's why I created two parts. One is like pre-cleaning and the other one is using this. So right now I'm seeing that I'm able to find like the data to be much more accurate. So I'm having some triggers like this, which indicate what is the confidence level. So right now I'm having around 90% is what it's saying, but I think I need to do that much more objectively.
Sure, super helpful. Thanks.
Cool. I'm not sure who else is here. I have one to show, but it'll take about 5 minutes. Just wanted to make sure if there's anybody else in the group. Cool, then I'll probably take this from here. I'm going to share my screen. Please let me know if you guys can see it. Yeah. Right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Super. Okay, so I have a very simple use case. It's not fancy like what everybody else showed, but I will still give it a try. So I also play for a band and we travel quite a bit. There's a lot of expenses that keep coming in terms of the food, flights, hotels. We also have a management team where they spend a bunch of things on behalf of us. So one of the things that my CEO asks almost every week is what is the spend, what is the proof of this spend? And sometimes he goes back 3-4 months back and say, hey, I see a spend of about £1,000. So what is it? Where is the invoice for that? And a lot of times I literally spend 1 to 2 hours trying to figure out, where is this invoice in my Gmail. So I kind of wanted to solve that where any spends, if I just send it to an email, I just wanted to be organized along with the proof of the invoice, bill or receipt, so that I can just give it to the CA and say, hey, please go here and check, don't disturb me anymore. I think that was the problem statement that I wanted to solve for myself. So it's a very simple maybe workflow. So you can see here a lot of notes. I'll just briefly explain what is happening in the workflow. Of course, you have a Gmail trigger. It looks for specific senders and keywords on what it should look for. Right now, I've set it as a polling for 5 minutes, but I think I will change it to maybe every 12 hours or something. Then once that is there, then I kind of get the attachments on the email content. I kind of organize, it's a JavaScript code. It kind of organizes everything in terms of array of items that needs to be processed. If there is attachments, of course, it will end up downloading it. Then I have a specific folder. These files get uploaded here. And once the files are uploaded, there is another thing which kind of updates this array of items along with the drive link for that specific attachment. Now that we have a list of items that needs to be processed, if there are 2-3 items, this OpenAI model, it's a very simple model with a prompt. There is a prompt and it kind of runs for each of these attachment. Once the output is coming, then I kind of pass this JSON output in a way that I can map to the Excel sheet. I'm using this Google Sheets node where you can then say which column from the ChatGPT I need to map it to the Excel sheet, and then again mark the Gmail as unread, basically read, so that it doesn't come again. So this was largely what I'm trying to build. So the first version is running. So I already have one bill here, which was red. But one interesting thing about this is I have two bills in one image. You can see the amount is different. And there's one more bill, which is about, I think, 1380. This is an example. So I'm just going to mark this as 100 and see what happens if it's going to pick. So let me test the workflow. I hope it works. This is the drive folder. So one image got uploaded. Let's wait for the other one. The both got uploaded. Okay. Okay, it has run this fully. Let's see if it has come. This up images got uploaded. I don't know why this. Okay, got it. So yeah, there were two attachments. One attachment had two bills, and the other attachment had one bill. So it kind of extracted along with the drive links. You see this, you know that 1380, 1380. So yeah, I mean, I've done this for bills, invoices, and receipts for now. Yeah, that's a small thing that I have been wanting to do for more than 1 year now in N8N. But yeah, really thanks to this group for pushing. I had to show something. So a lot of work started happening in the last 1 week. But yeah, so some of the things that I mean, took away, I think it, I mean, I have done coding in the past, and I think Bala and I actively code using Python. So it was a little bit of a learning curve for me for N8N. It was not that intuitive, if I have to be honest. Also, I also felt that some of the basic, I mean, of course, I used the help of Claude and OpenAI to kind of write the code in JavaScript, but I don't think the efficiency with which it fixes Python errors, I don't think it worked the same way with N8N. I'm assuming, I don't know. I mean, maybe they have to train more on N8N specific things, though it took a lot of iterations to get it right. But one thing that I realized is it was not that great at debugging workflows that involve N8N. Because in Python, I think it does a very good job of debugging any errors, but I felt in N8N it was not that great. Eventually, I had to look at what are the things that are breaking and prompt accordingly. So that is one of the observations that I had. I'm not sure if anybody else also felt this way. But yeah, that's a short demo from my end. My next step is to make this as a form and then share it with my team so that they can just keep uploading the invoices. Usually everybody sends it to me, and I kind of forward it to the CA and update this Excel sheet. Hopefully, I'll just make this into a form and then I'll give it to the folks to just email it to the specific address with the email and the thing so that they don't need to actually not form. They will just forward it to a specific email address and it will just work from there. So yeah, that's what I had, guys. Super. Any questions or anybody else wants to go ahead? Any other questions? Otherwise, I think we're good. We're over the top of time. Yeah, Adarsh.
Praveen, I actually worked on a workflow. Maybe if I could present that as well.
Sure, please go ahead. Yes.
Hey guys, I'm Adarsh. I work at a AI-based medtech company here in Bangalore. I'll just quickly show you my workflow. So just before getting into that, I want to talk about the use case. So I'm an avid investor, so I like to see what's happening with my stocks or the other stocks which I have on my watch list. And I wanted to create a small simple workflow which gives me updates probably daily or 2-3 times a week with certain information about my stock, allowing me to take decisions based on that. So just quickly show my workflow. Yeah. So here what it does is I'm first looking at Google Sheets. This is where I have my watch list with all the stocks for which I want the information. Then I'm just passing it over a loop to do a couple of things. One is fetch the stock stats. So here I use the Alpha Vantage to get some of these stock details like what was the previous close, what was the latest close, Then the last 28 days, what was the closing, the percentage change, the drop or increase in the stock price. So I'm getting that details from here. And then I'm extracting. So I'm just formatting and extracting some of the important things which I want from this call. Like I want the latest close, I want the previous close, percentage change, then my profit loss, and some chart data as well. Then what I'm doing is I'm passing that on to a merge node. Along with that, I'm also getting the stock information because I wanted to create some sort of visualization. I wanted to see a chart as to the stock performance over a certain period. So I'm extracting some of that data as well, and I'm passing it through this quick chart. Right? This is a quick chart API call which helps me create a chart based on the data which have fed to it. So this is just about getting the stock data and the chart. I'm also passing it through an RSS read to get some stock info. What this does is it basically does a Google search for that particular stock and gives me the relevant or the latest news for that particular stock. And because I don't want all the information dump, I'm just formatting it to get the top 3 headlines and the top 3 news articles along with the link. So all this for each stock, I'm passing it over a loop. And once this is done, I'm generating a prompt. Initially, what I did is I wanted all this information to pass into an OpenAI model to summarize all my information. But I didn't find that to be too useful. So what I'm just doing here is I'm formatting all this information and directly passing it to my Telegram, so that I'm every morning I'll get a message with all the stock related information and the chart. Let me just test this workflow. I've just put 2-3 random stocks here for testing purpose. So it goes over each of the stock. Yeah, and it sends me a message on Telegram. So something like this, where it's just summarizing first for Infosys, like this is the last closing price, percentage change, my profit loss. It also gives me some new summary, the top 3 headlines, as I was mentioning, along with, the links as well. If I want to have a deeper look into those particular news articles. And like this, I'm getting it for, the stocks which I've put under my watch list for now. And like I said, I'm also getting some sort of a chart visualization. So yeah, this is my basic workflow. Again, I had a few more things which I wanted to add on top of this, but this is just something which helped me on a personal, level, because it keeps me updated on what stock information I need for myself.
Nice. So these are the stocks that you have invested in, and does it also research and tell what stocks to invest, because you're anyway looking at the trends and everything?
Correct, exactly. So that is one thing. So right now I've only focused on my stocks which I have invested in, but I'm also going to be adding on to more stocks. And as you said, that's a good idea. That what are the stocks probably based on certain market research, how which are probably good to invest in. So yeah.
Super nice.
Thank you.
Right. Who else wants to go? Chris. I think we're good. Cool. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for taking the time out. I think it's been a fantastic demo, first demo day of appliedai club. But really, really, thanks a lot. Each one of the presentation was really amazing. Specific pain points, personal, professional. I mean, there's a lot to go back, think, and learn from all these presentations. If it is okay for you guys to share, please do share so that we can circulate across the community so people can just learn from all these things. But really amazing work for all of you. If you like what is happening, please do tell your friends. More the merrier. We can get more folks to help come teach us. We can all learn together and grow in this weird, boiled world of AI. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. See you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.